We're going to talk a little bit of boxing before I get out of here. Uh, Place is just tremendously hot today, as always in the Caribbean. My eyes are bloodshot red because I took a bath, but I'm kind of dry, so my eyes are kind of bloodshot red. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit of boxing. I really have much time. This may take just 5 minutes. First, I want to talk about Jermaine Ortiz's win over Bautista. He stopped him in the third round. I don't know if you guys followed that fight. It was on Top Rank. And Jermaine Ortiz, he stopped Amory RX or something like that. Batista was a late replacement for Jermaine Ortiz. Shout out to him. I always talk about Scottie Pippen when it comes to basketball, and I think he's just a phenomenal basketball player. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I think the Bulls team was a formidable team from 1991 till 1998. They were always in the runnings. But, I always thought that Scottie Pippen was a very underrated player on that team, being the team leader, being the guy to distribute the ball, call the plays, etc. I just thought it was disrespectful not to really give him his respect, as well as some key basketball players with the Bulls. But the first team, we're talking about B.J. Armstrong. We're talking about John Paxson. We're talking about Horace Grant. We're talking about Bill Cartridge. We're talking about Stacey King. We're talking about, I'm trying to remember, Jason Williams, right? That was like the Bulls team pretty much. There was some other guys, but I can't remember them right now off the top of my head. But those guys, that was the team. That was the Bulls team. And then, of course, the second Bulls team, which had to do with Tony Kukoc. We had Steve Kerr, Judd Bushler. We had, again, you got to talk about Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan. You had also Dennis Rodman. And you had the glove in, what's his name, man? The glove, Ron Harper. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about the Bulls, these are the guys. And then, of course, for a little moment, we had John Sally, and we also had, I'll tell you what's his name. Ooh, I'm trying to remember his name. He was on the Celtics team, Robert Parrish, right? So, I'm just talking off the top of my head. Again, Jermaine Ortiz, congratulations on your win over your last minute replacement, Bautista. And of course, I got to talk about Scottie Pippen and the Bulls and how important and integral he was to the Bulls team, and how much, they didn't really, they always talk like he's developing as a player and he's growing into his own. Come on, man. Everybody growing as a player. Everybody trying to be better than they were before. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got any questions for me before I get out of here? I got like about 2 more minutes left. I decided I wanted to do this stream. I was just reviewing some of the things that Floyd Mayweather did. And Floyd Mayweather was a phenomenal fighter, man. I just watched Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I watched like the last 7 rounds or something like that. And that was something too. You know what I'm saying? Dude was a phenomenal fighter, man. He was in a league all his own, and people don't respect that, but that's okay. And then I was looking at Terrence Crawford and some of the stuff that he did and some of the stuff that he said. And again, Terrence Crawford is a phenomenal fighter. And, as Shane Mosley so correctly said way back in the day, I'm talking about Canelo versus Floyd. And still to this day, it is the problem. Canelo's feet. Canelo's feet has always been his problem. I don't care who he's sparring. He could spar, the greatest of the greatest. He could have been sparring Floyd Mayweather for all I care. That ain't going to help him against Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford just got so many different ways he could beat Canelo. And he just has to pick one. Canelo probably only has like 1 or 2 ways of beating Crawford that he could think of. So I can't see it. I can't see Canelo beating Crawford. I don't care what y'all say. I just don't see it. Maybe he can. It's boxing. But I just don't see it. So you guys will have to show me that. You know what I'm saying? All those Canelo fans out there, I'm a Canelo fan too, but I'm telling you right now, I just don't see how he's going to beat Crawford. I'm telling you right now. So y'all can feel all kind of how you want to feel. I don't care. With respect to boxing in general, what to look forward to. There's not much to look forward to now. There's just that big fight, Canelo versus Crawford. That's the big fight on the horizon. I'm not really into the circus act stuff like, Tank versus Jake Paul. I'm not really interested in that. as y'all know. I wasn't interested in Floyd versus Logan Paul. I wasn't interested in Floyd versus Conor McGregor. I wasn't interested in those crossover fights. That's more for like casuals and people who like interested in that stuff. And it's an exhibition too. It's not even a full-fledged fight. I think Tank should be rematching. What's his name? Tank should be rematching the kid from the same area as him, the DC area, the DMV. Should be rematching that dude, as far as I'm concerned. And I know y'all gonna say, "Well, Tank, he looked like he just want to leave boxing now and retire and whatever." Nah, man, nah. You need to set the record straight on this dude. This dude looked like he beat your ass, and you just doing like you just kind of stalling so that you don't have to face him. I really am not into that. And y'all will say, well, go get your money. Or I'll listen to Bruce Wayne. I listen to Bruce Wayne all the time. And Bruce Wayne was saying, they don't appreciate black fight. I don't care, bro. I don't care what they say. I couldn't care about the chatter. They don't box. They don't box on that level. So it doesn't really matter. Their view and their opinions don't really matter. Like fans' opinions on whether a boxer is this or that or the third do not matter to me. Siri TV says, hi. Okay, hi. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to convince me that Tank is all that and a bone and chips, he got to prove himself. That's just how I feel about it. Now, for him, people criticize him and say X, Y, and Z about him. They don't box, so it don't really matter, right? But in my opinion, his resume ain't that great. That's all I'm saying. John Tay Weaver says, Tank going to the body like Jake Paul never seen. Watch. I really don't care, bro. Jake Paul ain't nowhere. He's not. What is Jake Paul? Who is Jake Paul? Jake Paul's nobody. What has he done? What is his accomplishments? What has Jake Paul accomplished? This is a step backwards. You know what I'm saying? He ain't done nothing. Jake Paul is a social media sensation. He may be trying to do boxing and all of that, but who has he faced? Oh, he's faced Mike Tyson. 61-year-old Mike Tyson. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh, he got Mike Tyson on his resume. Okay, so Mike Tyson's nobody right now. We don't consider Mike Tyson as a professional boxer. Could Mike Tyson now go in the ring and face guys like Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua and beat them? No. So why are we even talking about Mike Tyson? Right? This is professional boxing. It's for young people. You know what I mean? Brandon Wilson says Tank versus his wife. Who wins? I couldn't care less, man. I want to see Tank face real competition, and that's it. Now, you don't want to feel spring concert, you want to retire, fine. No problem. It's your life. You know what I mean? John Weaver says, it's for the money. I would fight for $40 million for an exhibition. Bruh, there's certain things that you just don't do in the middle of your career. And this is one of them. Fighting Jake Paul in the middle of your career, you're not done. Your career's not over. You haven't even faced anyone. Well, who has Tank, seriously speaking, who has Tank faced that is an elite top level opponent? Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia ain't top and elite. What has Ryan Garcia done? What has Ryan Garcia done? Nothing. He don't even have a championship. Right? Who has Tank faced? No, seriously, who has Tank faced? When he has faced somebody who's of the top level of top ilk, he don't want to rematch him. He ducking and dodging. Tank's sad, man. He's a sad story, man. And everybody said, well, Tank will beat this guy and Tank will beat that guy. Well, then show us. Show us. I don't want to hear nothing, but some of y'all just be on Tank nuts, man. Seriously, Tank ain't done nothing. What has he done in the sport of boxing? No, I'm serious. Like, I'm not trying to just talk off the top of my head. Who's the number one fighter he's fought in any division? Who's the number two fighter he's fought in any division? Who's the number three fighter he's fought in any division? Right? I guess he faced Hector or whatever, Garcia or whatever, but this kid that he just faced, he almost whooped his ass. In fact, he whooped his ass, but they gave him a draw. Andy said, nothing worth my while. He says 100%, 100%. John Weaver says 40 million for execution. It's not execution, exhibition, you mean? Then get back to business. Come on. 40 million ain't hurt nobody. Bruh. You can do the exhibitions after your career over. Right? Floyd be doing exhibitions because his career is over. He didn't do it while he was fighting. Nobody does that. Unless Tank ain't plan on coming back into boxing. Didn't Tank say he retired or some shit like that? So maybe he don't plan to come back into boxing. He's just going to try and make money off of his celebrity. Fine. But quite frankly, man, this dude just a sad case, man. He a sad case. He ain't facing nobody. He ain't faced Shakur. He ain't faced Devin. He ain't faced who he ain't faced again? It's too many people he ain't faced. He ain't faced this kid. What is his name? He at 140 right now. The kid at 140. What's his name? From New York. Who's the kid? The kid at 140 in New York. Anyway, whatever. John Lewis says, that's true. I've been waiting for that Pitbull rematch for a while now. Who's Pitbull? Come on, people, man. Seriously. Pitbull's a rising star. Pitbull wasn't even a world champion when Tank faced him. He got world champions in his division, man. He got world champions in his division. What are we doing here? No, seriously, what are we doing? See what I'm saying? Come on, man. Tank is just, he's sad, man. He's sad. The thing is, who else can Tank fight to make money? Everybody, professionally. Everybody who's somebody. All these guys came up together. It was Tank. Help me out here. Teofimo Lopez. That's the guy I'm talking about. Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Right? These are the guys he should be facing. These are his contemporaries. Now, if he's trying to make a fight and they don't want to fight him, that's totally different, but that's not what's happening. It's the opposite. Bernie Cerezo says, the thing is, who else? Okay, I heard you first time. Santa Cruz was deep. Come on, man. Y'all joking around, man. Santa Cruz went up in weight. Tank came down in weight. He was a weight bully in that fight. Come on now. Look, he even picked on this kid who came up in weight to face him. And the kid whooped his ass. Basically whooped his ass. Bernie Cerezo says, what if he loses to the people you mentioned? So what? It's better you fight and lose to somebody than you didn't fight them at all. I don't understand. What is your problem with losing? Why do you think it's a danger for somebody to lose? What is up with you fans? So what if he loses? So what? So what? It's better he faced these guys and he ducks them, because now we're going to say, well, you was afraid to fight this guy and you was afraid to fight that guy because you lost. You think you would have lost. You don't even have the courage to face the guy. That's how I look at it. This ain't no Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wasn't like that. The guys that Floyd Mayweather fought were the best fighters. Tank ain't faced not one single number one fighter in any division. And y'all give him mad props for what? What has he done? Nothing. Think about what I'm saying. I'm not saying this out of animosity or anything. I'm just saying this dude ain't accomplished shit. He be knocking out people who can be knocked out. He just stepped up to the plate, stepped up to the level that he should be, and the guy gave him the fits and dropped him. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight says, happy Monday, everyone. Hey, man, blessings to you, brother. Knox says, do you like to dance? Not really. John Weaver says, I'd rather him retire than end up like his big bro, Adrian Broner. Oh, come on. You serious, bro? You serious? Adrian Broner's fought names. He might have lost to people, but he got a serious legacy. And he can talk to people about this guy and this guy and this guy, and how it was to face this guy and how to face that guy. Oscar De La Hoya is a perfect example. Oscar De La Hoya fought almost everybody. He didn't fight Winky Wright, but he almost fought everybody. And Oscar can tell you, Oscar's doing great, right? He got De La Hoya, he got Golden Boy Promotions, he's been doing good. He's still around. Golden Boy Promotions still around. He's still producing fighters. Oscar's doing fine, right? So that sort of, oh, he wouldn't become like Adrian Broner if he mismanages his money and behaves like an asshole. Yeah, sure, he will become like Adrian Broner. But we have the example of Floyd. We have the example of Oscar De La Hoya. We have the example of Shane Mosley. We have the example of, let me see, who else is in business? Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins lost fights. So what? It ain't the end of the world. What's wrong with these young fighters? Are you guys seriously thinking like that? There's a reason Andre Ward's undefeated. There's a reason Joe Calzaghe's undefeated. There's a reason Floyd Mayweather's undefeated. And it ain't because they ducked the smoke. They took all the smoke. They just was that good. They prepared themselves for every single fight. If you go in a fight thinking you can't win the fight, how are you going to win the fight? That's the problem with Tank. When Floyd challenged Tank facing that Puerto Rican fighter and Tank beat him, Tank said that Floyd was trying to get him to lose. And I thought, is this the mindset of this ninja? This ninja, this is his mindset? Somebody pushes you to go to the next level because they see your potential in you. And you feel they push you too hard? Man, fuck Tank. Edgar says, who you got on Canelo versus Crawford? I got Crawford. I learned my lesson. I ain't Crawford gonna beat Canelo. And it is what it is. But John Tay Weaver says, Roy Jones was that man. Yeah, Roy fought everybody. Well, mostly everybody. He didn't fight everybody, but, mostly everybody. Right? Roy was a legend. Roy is a living legend. We all know that. Roy's that dude. Floyd, Roy, Andre Ward. Y'all can't say nothing about these guys. They fought everybody. Right? Pacquiao. Cotto. You can't say Cotto duck anybody. Okay. Because, you can't say it. Right? Who else we got? Marquez. Mosley, right? These guys came up the right way. They actually fought people. They actually challenged themselves. They actually got in trouble in fights. All of them. I just mentioned Oscar, Bernard, Tarver, right? You got the heavyweights, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Alexander Usyk, even Terrence Crawford. They're all looking for that smoke. This young kid, what's his name? Shakur Stevenson. They're all looking for the smoke, man. They be searching for the smoke. They don't have no problem because why? They believe that they can beat anybody and everybody. The only reason they think they can't beat everybody and anybody is if they let themselves down. Because they know how to prepare themselves for fights. And if they lose a fight, so what? It's not the end of the world. Okay? So what? Anything can happen in boxing. Anything. Heavy Hands TV said, what you think? Okay. Jonte Weaver says, Crawford beating Canelo. He going to beat Canelo like we never seen. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying I back Crawford. I'm not going to try and pick against Crawford ever again. That's what I can tell you. And I know Canelo, his problem is his footwork, his feet. He just don't have good foot cardio. Can't keep up with another guy. His feet. He got a great upper body. He got all kind of sneaky, crafty things he does to inch in on a guy and to get him. He has also little sneaky, crafty maneuvers for like if you try to clinch him, he know how to lock you up a certain way so he can get a shot in on you and weaken your body. He have all kinds of crafty little things he does. But to say that he gonna beat Crawford, I just can't see it. But we will see. I don't know. You never know. I just don't see it. Edgar Hernandez says, can't wait, brother. Fight night is getting close. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. But there's a reason, Crawford is jumping up 2 to 3 divisions to fight Canelo. He knows he can beat Canelo. He knows that. And we saw a bit of it. We know Canelo just can't deal with guys with really good footwork that can move around the ring a certain way. He just has always had difficulty with them. Always. Jonte Weaver says, Zab. Jonte Weaver says Winky Wright was nice too. Yeah, Winky had that high guard thing he was doing. He like a turtle. He just hide behind that guard. We was Egyptians and shit. If IQ is partially genetic, which parents' genes are more significant to IQ, especially in males? I really don't know, brother. I don't know about all of that. Which group scores lowest on IQ? I don't know, brother. You talking about genetics? I'm saying I don't know, man. I don't know. You asking me questions I have no answers for. Technically, whose fault? Hypothetically, how could this be fixed? I don't know, man. You asking me some questions is above my pay grade. You know what I'm saying? There's nurture and there's nature. And yes, genes do play a role in your predisposition, in your behavioral patterns, in your, I guess, your IQ as well. It depends how you think. I'm autistic, so the way how my brain is wired is different to other people, right? And that's just the way I am. I love knowledge as well, and that's just something I was born with. You understand? So when you say genetics, I don't know, man. Everybody has an intelligence. You know what I'm saying? John Weaver is laughing. He's laughing his ass off. Hey, I don't know. I can't really. I can't speak on something I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? I know some of it, but I really don't know all of it. And I study genetics and all that stuff. But John T. Weaver says, you called it. Canelo doesn't have footwork, and Crawford masters that part of the game. It's not that he don't have footwork. It's that I think Shane Mosley summed it up very good. He fights flat-footed a lot. He fights flat-footed a lot. He got comfortable fighting flat-footed and never used to always fight flat-footed. In fact, against Gennady Golovkin, he was fighting on his toes. But he don't really have quick feet. He's kind of like Adrian Broner. He's even like Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is lightning quick, but he didn't really have quick feet. You know what I'm saying? At consistent, quick footwork. You know what I'm saying? Floyd and Pacquiao, they got quick feet, and they constantly moving their feet all the time. Canelo's not constantly moving his feet, shifting his weight. He's not constantly on the ready thing. He feet slow. I don't know how else to say it. His feet is slow. And that's just, you can't be doing that with fucking Crawford. He gonna eat you alive. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I see Crawford. And it's a fundamental flaw that I talked about Canelo's foot cardio. I talked about this over and over. That's how Bevo beat him. That's why Caleb Plant was having fun with him. He did wear down Caleb Plant to the body, and he had to try and wear down Crawford to the body. He's going to have to get in contact with Crawford. He's going to have to hit Crawford. The thing about Crawford, this is what y'all don't realize. Crawford naturally walks around 180-something pounds. In fighting shape, he can get down to 168, and then he'll come back up on fight night at 180-something pounds, right? So Crawford usually fight in the ring at 180-something pounds, right? So Canelo fights at around 180-something pounds too. So that's why they're about the same size. The difference is Canelo in ring has faced much bigger, larger fighters who punch harder. That's the difference, really. So we would expect Canelo to be the stronger fighter of the two. I could be wrong. I heard Crawford can bench press 400 pounds, and he also knows how to wrestle. So all of that's going to be a factor with Canelo. Canelo ain't going to be able to manhandle Crawford just like that. But depending on Canelo's strategy and game plan, we will know what we're dealing with. And then Crawford's longer than Canelo. He's very good with his jab. He can fight either stance, which means he can get different angles that he want to get off on Canelo. If you want to get off on Canelo and switch up in the middle of it and catch him with something, he could do that. That's the problem with Crawford. Crawford's a guy that's very tricky. And so he could not, like some people are saying, he could probably knock out Canelo. He could catch Canelo with something that he didn't see and really daze him. Because he can mix it up. He can just change stances. And that's why he's rubbery. I always say that Crawford will hit you with an in-between kind of punch. Like a punch in between a jab and a hook. He'll hit you with something like that. He's got these weird punches that he throws that are arcing punches. He whips a lot of the shots. So there's things about Crawford that I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm like, I'm not picking against Crawford. That's what I'm telling you right now. Right? If Crawford was to fight Floyd, that would have been a challenge for Floyd. That's all I'm going to say. And Crawford loved Floyd. He loved, just like how Floyd loved Roy, Crawford loved Floyd. I'm telling you right now. Okay? So, here's what it is. I think Crawford would beat Floyd's ass. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But I think he would beat Floyd's ass. But I might be wrong. We never see the fight, so I'll never know. But if there's anybody who could beat Floyd Mayweather, I think it would be Crawford. John T. Weaver says, and his output has decreased so much in the last 3 fights, and Crawford doesn't stop coming. And I want to see his power that way. Well, we're going to see everything. Everything's going to be proven to be true or false or whatever. Deontay Weaver says Crawford's very distinguished at finding his range and timing, and he doesn't stop moving. It's going to get bad after the 7th round. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have to see the fight first, but I can tell you this. Crawford's feet going, not Crawford, Canelo's feet going to betray him. That's much as I'm going to tell you. He going to have to try and go to Crawford's body from the get-go. He going to have to be sneaky. He going to have to tread that needle. He going to have to get them jabs in. He going to get them right hands in. He got to throw that left hook. You know, he going to have to, because we know he going to try and be aggressive, right? And Crawford, man, yo, it's, you know, Crawford's seen food. Trust me, he's seen food. And yes, Canelo going to be supposedly the bigger guy. We'll see. I don't know what will happen. We'll see with the fight, but don't ask me not to pick against Crawford. That's never going to happen again. I learned my lesson with Errol Spence. And I was on the fence with Errol Spence. I thought it was going to go the distance. And he just did a number on Errol. And Canelo's much more defensively minded and a much better defensive fighter. But, man, the difference in speed is going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of things that Canelo's going to have to handle in there. And yes, Canelo has a hell of a chin, and he knows how to ride and roll punches. But if you see the punch, you can't ride it and roll. I mean, you might ride it, but then Crawford might come back with something, and you might end up in the middle of riding into a punch. You know what I'm saying? That's Crawford. Crawford's tricky, man. I tell you, he's a tricky dude. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys smash the like button. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go do some sales and shit. Go out and sell some drinks. This, by the way, this stream is brought to you by LIVE. LIVE, live now, we are live now. If you live in the Trinidad and Tobago area, because I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, if you live in the Trinidad and Tobago area, don't forget to get your LIVE drinks. In fact, let me show y'all something with my LIVE drinks. And yes, I'm going to talk more about Scottie Pippen during the days of the basketball, the 1991 to 1998 Bulls. We will be talking about that, but let me show you some of my LIVE drinks. So this here is beetroot punch, okay? Beetroot, y'all can't even see this shit. I got also orange juice, the usual fruit juices. I got lime juice. I got, I got fruit punch. Yes, baby. I also got, what else I got here? I got sorrel. I don't know if y'all know, it's also called Jamaica in Jamaica, right? It's called Jamaica, also known as sorrel. You know what I'm saying? That's the small drinks. They're $4 a drink. TT. Also got a couple of punches here, I think. So I also got Morby here. I don't know if y'all know what Morby is. Morby. Y'all don't even know what this is. Ooh-wee. Yeah, Lordy Lord. Yeah, I also have grapefruit drink here. Y'all know what grapefruit is, of course, but y'all don't know what the hell Morby is. Morby's a nice drink, man. It's a cool drink for a hot day, like lemonade, lime drink. You know what I'm saying? I've been putting 50 on Crawford each paycheck since July 26th. I'm going to get paid that night. I can't wait. Especially where they say Jerome Boots Ennis is sparring with Canelo. Yeah, some people are going to say, oh, yes, that means Canelo will beat Crawford because he's seen that style before. No, motherfucker, that don't mean shit. This is sea moss. I don't know if you guys know what sea moss is. Got some more beetroot drink here. Just the big bottles. I got grapefruit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take these things out. I'm heading out the road right now. It's late, man. I need to get out the road and do my thing. Oh, I got some orange juice, too. Yes, y'all, and I also got peanut punch. So I got punches, and I got drinks. I also have snacks. I have granola snacks, and I have salted nut snacks. So, you know what I'm saying? This is it in the fridge there, stacked a bit. I'm taking out the stuff, and I'm doing my thing. They say Boots touched him up pretty good in camp because he sits in one spot. Yeah, Boots will tear your ass up. Boots ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? He in next one. You got to watch out for Boots. Love to see Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. I hear they're going to be clashing up later on in the year. I'm going to catch y'all guys later, though. I'm what you need. Yes, John Weaver. John Weaver, are you related to Mike Weaver by any chance? Sound like you're a real boxing head. I'm going to catch y'all guys later, though. I love you guys. I will try and do another live stream some other time. Peace to everybody. I'm going on 30 minutes. I need to get out there and work. my ass off. If y'all want to donate to me, I don't know how y'all gonna do it. Sparky Music Global, yo! Big shout out to Jonte Weaver. Big shout out to We Was Egyptians and shit. And Edgar Hernandez, can't wait, brother. Edgar Hernandez probably backing up Canelo. Back up your Mexican homie if you are or Latino. Edgar Hernandez. Heavy Hands TV says, what do you think about Crawford versus Canelo? Thanks for the question, my brother. And who else we got up in here? Nick Knox says, do you like to dance, baby? Did you like dance? Nope. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights says, happy Monday, everybody. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. And Bernie Cerezo said, what if he loses to the people you mentioned, Barry? You know what it is. You win some, you lose some. That's life. You know what I'm saying? You just keep it moving, baby. That's what we say. Bernie Cerezo, he's trying to back up Tank. I hear you, man, but I'm not happy with Tank's career, man. Tank be making money, but he ain't fighting the best fights, man. And that's the problem. Andy says 100%. Shout out to Angry Andy. Andy also said, dog, go get some Crest whitening strips, 70%. They're going to change your life. You know, I've been trying to get whitening for my teeth, and they got plaque on it and shit. But you know something, Andy? I just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, thanks for the tip, bro. I'm going to try and get some proper whitening for my teeth. But first I had to go to the dentist and get my teeth cleaned. And I got 2 cavities in my teeth. I got one up here and one down below here. But we've been trying to maintain. And I'll tell you some natural things you can use to take care of your teeth. But, you know, I've not been doing properly. I haven't been cleaning my mouth properly. So it is what it is. Brendan Wilson says Tank versus his wife. Who wins? Brendan Wilson in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, Siri TV said hi. Okay, man. Shout out to all of you that had shown interest in boxing. Keep that fire going. Keep the boxing going. But just understand something. Everything's in the context of the world. What I'm trying to tell y'all is keep your eyes open for what's happening in the world as well. Don't just be on sport. That's a distraction as well. I'm just going to say that for y'all. You know, y'all got to pay attention because I'm letting y'all know. Y'all's nice people. But, you know, ultimately, in the end, they're trying to get rid of all of us. Yeah, just letting you know what's happening in Palestine is about to go worldwide if y'all let it. All right, I'll see y'all later. Peace.